What's happening, y'all? This is Mirror Music. The show is called Digging the Dead. I'm Andrew, and this is a show about the Grateful Dead's music and history, and it's kind of a learning experience for me. I'm a newbie, well, relative newbie to the subculture of being a Deadhead, and I am using this and your comments and your interactions on these videos to kind of learn and teach myself about the history of one of, if not the great American band. So this show today is actually in response to a couple weeks ago I did a reaction to Rubin and Cherise, which was as played by the Grateful Dead. I don't remember when it was, honestly. Late 80s, early 90s, I think. And so I was told, I knew from a brief amount of research ahead of time that it was a Jerry Garcia band song. And I was encouraged strongly to listen to Jerry Garcia band versions of this song. So we're not going to be doing a deep dive on this channel of all of the history and the years and the permutations of Rubin and Cherise, but I do want to explore what Jerry Garcia band version of this would look like or sound like. So this version is from Buffalo, State University of Buffalo, on November 30th, 1977. I thought we would go all the way back, not to the very beginning, but near the beginning of when the song was being performed, and just see what we got. So again, this is the Jerry Garcia band at State College, New York, in Buffalo, on November 30th, 1977. Let's see what we got. It's an audience recording. Nice. It's already got a better groove than the last one we listened to. turned up in those monitors. That was Rubin and Cherise by the Jerry Garcia Band at SUNY Buffalo, November 30th, 77. Couple things. First of all, those of you who have watched me for a long time on any of the shows that we've done on Mirror Music or on Hip Hop Talks know that my inclination, despite being an English teacher, is that I listen to the melody first, and it takes a long time for me to lock in on the lyrics. I have to listen to the song 4, 5, 6, 7 times, and it's a really rare thing for lyrics to jump out at me to start with. So I'm mostly paying attention to the guitar line, to the feel of the song, to the general vocal melody. I don't know that I could quote you a single lyric from Rubin and Cherise, and this is the second reaction to one I've done in the past month, and I don't know that I could say a single word of it. So tell me what the song's about, maybe. I mean, I guess I could look it up, but it's much more fun to kind of engage in this conversation, right? So I'm curious about that. I love the wave of sound at the end, like it crescendos, right? It gets... It's not quiet really at the beginning, but it is a pretty serene sounding song, and when you get into that riff at the end, it kind of expands, right? And it's a really cool experience. Wasn't Rubin and Cherise the one... I remember saying at the end of one of these videos that it sounded like the Grateful Dead were like riffing on the Round Ball Rock, the NBA on NBC song, or the other one that I couldn't remember at that point was the Move On Up, the dun 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 dun, like this Curtis Mayfield song. It sounded like they were putting that in there. There's none of that in here at all. So it's just an interesting little twist that I think the Grateful Dead put on it that is not present here. And if I'm misremembering what song that was on, that's my bad, guys. It all kind of runs together at some level at this point in the teaching semester. I'm recording this halfway through October, so it's kind of chaos right now in at the workplace. I also wanted to say at the end of this song, the riff that they were playing was just about the most power chord. It wasn't really power chords, but power chord-ish sounding crunchy rock riff might have ever heard Jerry Garcia play. Like I would never ever call anything they do crunchy sounding, but like it's got a little, and it. I'm recording this maybe 2 or 3 days after Ace Frehley passed away, the guitarist for Kiss. And the end of that kind of put me in the mind of some Kiss songs, honestly. And I know that's probably sacrilegious to both Kiss fans and to the Grateful Dead fans, to draw comparisons between what Kiss was and what Kiss represented, and what the Grateful Dead was and the Grateful Dead represented and represents. But there are some little pieces that excuse me, that they're all pulling from the same well, the same fountain, right? So it was just a cool experience. I'm also recording this a couple days after Bob Weir's birthday, so happy birthday, Bobby. Um, Rest in peace, Ace Frehley, though that has nothing to do with this video particularly. This was a fun and new experience of Rubin and Cherise. This version obviously was much tighter. It was much more probably in the spirit of what was intended. These musicians were in much more lockstep with what I think the song's intent was, as opposed to the other version we heard, where it, like I said live at that point, it was like, we're doing this? Oh, okay. You remember. It kind of felt like that, right? As opposed to, yeah, let's get into this. So, again, this is Jerry Garcia Band on November 30th, 1977 at SUNY Buffalo, playing Rubin and Cherise as an audience recording of unknown vintage and recording. So, hope you enjoyed. Take care of yourselves, y'all. We'll see you next time. Peace out.